Australia is an island country in the Pacific Ocean full of interesting people, plants, and creatures. It is the largest single island and also the main part of the continent Oceania, though it is usually just known as Australia. Let's take a look at the country of Australia.
Great Barrier Reef. Australia is home to the world's largest living structure, the Great Barrier Reef. The reef is 2,600 kilometers, or 1,615 miles, half the size of Texas, or 70 million American football fields. It is the only living thing that is visible from space, and over 10% of all fish species in the whole world live in or around it. The reef generates $5 to $6 billion per year from tourism, but this much visitation, along with climate change, is slowly killing the reef.
Australia contains many odds and unique foods, many of which can't be found anywhere but Australia. Things such as Wheat Bix, a kind of breakfast biscuit, Vegemite, a thick black spread made from leftover yeast and other things, Lamingtons, small chocolate powdered cakes, and the spiced candy bar, a fruity candy made from two different fruits that are spliced together.
Originally, the natives, the Aboriginals, lived in Australia. But after the American Revolution, where America broke off from Britain, Britain sent explorers to go claim new land, and Australia was discovered. The other countries around Australia were also discovered around this time, though by different other countries such as Spain, France, and Portugal.
As countries go, Australia is relatively friendly to most other countries. They're on good terms with most European countries. They're very good with Britain because they were, of course, the first ones to inhabit them, fine with America, and loves their neighbor, New Zealand. One of the only countries they aren't on good terms with is Fiji, which comes from a dispute from several decades ago.
Topography. Australia is divided into four topographical regions: the low, sandy eastern coastal plains, the Eastern Highlands, which is ranging from 300 to more than 3,100 meters high in altitude, the Central Plains, and the Western Plateau. Interestingly enough, only about 6% of the continent is 2,000 feet or more above sea level.
Ethnicity. Australia is quite diverse in terms of varied ethnicity. Though not anything like American or other melting pot countries, Australia has its share of different races and people groups, with 25% English and 25% is Australian, which already makes 50% of the population. 7.5% are Irish, 6.4% Scottish, 3.3% Italian, 3.2% German, 3.1% Chinese, and about 1% each of Indian, Greek, and Dutch, which altogether makes 77.5%, 10.8% are other, while only 5% of the people are the original inhabitants and Aboriginal people, and lastly, 5.4% is unknown.
Australia has the highest marsupial count out of all the other countries in the world. It is also the only place that has kangaroos and wallabies, but not the only country that eats them. It also has over 72 recorded different dangerous species that could possibly kill you and eat you. But if you're cautious and you know what you're doing and you aren't an idiot and try to pet a shark, you should be fine. But many people aren't careful and aren't smart, which is one of the reasons Australia has one of the highest death injury counts from animals in the world.
Australia has a large amount of hummock grasslands, but almost all of the inland is the desert that Australia is most famous for, the outback. Most people live on the coast for better forests and vegetation. In fact, nearly 90% of people living in Australia live within 20 miles of the coast. Another reason Australia beaches are so popular. There's a lot of eucalypt wood and open forest, which explains all the animals. There are also some Chikala rainforests, where many animals reside as well. Australia is a very interesting, strange, and apparently dangerous place. If you'd like to learn more interesting facts about Australia, head over to australiafacts.com.